Now let's talk about competition teams and their role in growing our martial arts school. My views on running a fight gym, well, they may be a little controversial. I think that's because people misunderstand what it really means to run a fight or competition team. There's this belief out there, this myth, that if you have a great fight team, your mats will suddenly be flooded with new students, eager to join. But trust me, it doesn't work like that. I know because I've been there. I've built competition teams. I've had fighters win titles across boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and even MMA. And you know what? It never translated into a flood of new members. We track everything, how people find us, why they contact us, and it's not because they saw one of our fighters win a belt. And honestly, I didn't want it to work that way. You see, I don't run a fight gym. I run a martial arts school. I don't want fighters. I want martial artists. My fighters know this. They refer to themselves as martial artists who fight. Why? Because I want students here for the right reasons, for the journey, for longevity. The truth is, people looking for fight gyms often aren't in it for the long haul. They want shortcuts, to jump into the ring or cage after just a couple months of training. And I've seen what happens when they do. I came up in fight gyms. I know how this story ends. Weak fundamentals, shaky mental prep, and they get thrown to the wolves unready. That's not what I want for my students. Not anymore. I tell anyone who walks through the doors the same thing. We need a year of consistent training before we even talk about amateur fights. A year. Because let's be real, you don't even know how to throw a punch yet. First, you need to learn to be a martial artist, to love the style that you're training, to love the training itself. When you fall in love with the art, fight camps and competition become much easier. Because now you're in it for the process. Now, of course, BJJ, we don't require a year. It's just a little different. If you know, you know. I didn't always understand this. When I first started my competition teams, I did what I saw at other fight gyms and I rushed it. I threw students into competition too early. They weren't ready. Not physically, not mentally, and worst, it started to tear at my culture. The culture we'd worked so hard to cultivate. There was this imbalance. Fighters resented the regular students felt overlooked, and some fighters, they thought they deserved all of my time because they competed. They thought they were more important than the students. The most important. That was never the culture I wanted. So when we reopened after the pandemic, I made a decision. I shut competition down completely. I refocused on my students, all of them. Over time, as our new community began to grow, we started rebuilding our competition team. But this time, my stance was clear. No one is above the students. I don't care if you're a champion. The students will always be my priority. That shift created something beautiful, humility, respect. Our champions, they attend regular classes alongside everyone else. Some students don't even know who they are. They don't realize those belts on the wall belong to the guy training next to them, and that's how it should be. Of course, my fighters still get their fight camp time in with me. That's extra time I give because they've earned it. They've put in the hours. They respect that, and they respect the school as a whole. No egos here, because at the end of the day, martial arts is about humility. And you know what? I've never been more in my element than I am right now. Our standards, our culture, it works. We do very well. I don't need professional fighters in major organizations. I don't run a fight gym. I run a martial arts school. If competition is the path one of my students chooses, I will support them with everything I have. But at the end of the day, my goal is simple: to create and grow martial artists, lifelong martial artists. That's what matters most to me.